Hello ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? The Zip of RageQuitTV, gonna be casting a ladder game between GL.Snute, of course Snute is on Team Gamers Legion, and WhiteRa. This guy is so good, he doesn't need a team, he's got his own personal sponsor. That sponsor is Thermaltake, spawns as the blue Protoss. The map is Xel'Naga Caverns, and I'd like to apologize because I haven't casted lately. I know my one cast a day rule did kind of disappear for a little bit. I was watching Breaking Bad, but I'm all caught up now, so back to my casting routine. It looks like WhiteRa is going to be doing some type of Forge Fast Expand, as he is going to be placing his pylon right above this one Vespane guy, so you can use this as kind of a queue, and you'll just see how he does the SimCity, because it is so good. It is on Xel'Naga Caverns though, so it will be vulnerable to any type of Roach Bust. And I say Roach Bust, not Banely, because on Xel'Naga Caverns, you're going to have your Forge and Gateway kind of part of your wall, and you don't want Banelings to attack that. You want to have Roaches, because they can kind of sit in these nooks and crannies and just pick off buildings one by one. You pick off their Gateway, and well, they are absolutely screwed. Pick off their Forge and Gateway, oh man, you just set them so far behind. You're free to take as many bases as you would like, but we'll see exactly what ends up happening. Snute cannot go for a hatch first just because of the possible Forge, so he is going to throw down a spawning pool at 14 supply, and the probe is going to continue to walk around. He can't really be stopped by anything at this point in the game. Going to be attacking the spawning pool, and now going to go to the drone, try to pick off a drone. It is very unlikely, and WhiteRa has to be careful because he can get surrounded and lose this probe, which will stop him from being able to deny a hatch. If this probe does go down, Snute will be free just to take his hatch really early, and he is going way in this middle line. The probe getting, oh no, he does get away. Lost a little bit of health. He is going to go just down here where it is safe and probably throw down a pylon eventually just to block that. The Forge is up. His Gateway will be placed right here, but he is going to be going for his Nexus now at 17 supply. The spawning pool now finishes, and he is going to be waiting to throw down the Gateway so he can get the wall up, and does not manage to block this one hatch. Snute does get that, and he doesn't have any gas, so if WhiteRa did block that, he would have done some damage just because the drones would go above saturation. Can you imagine that hatch got delayed? Like, he's just now getting 2 lings. He'd have to build a few more lings, and of course the drones would be above that 16, which is causing a little bit of damage, not too much, but it does slow down any type of build. The extractor now being built at 20 supply or 21 supply. The 2 lings are out, and again, he only needs 2 because, well, the hatch did not get blocked. And that's a little bit odd. The cannon is going up here. I guess this will protect the Nexus, and I don't know if this is walled off or not. WhiteRa may be placing a cybernetics core right here. We'll have to see exactly what ends up happening. There's only 2 lings, so he is in no threat whatsoever. And that cannon does fan off those lings, and again, this is a weird wall. This is not what I expected to see, but WhiteRa is gonna make it work. And like I said, the Roach play, he could easily just sit right here, pick off the cybernetics core, go no whoop gate research for you, and no stalkers, only zealots, which Roaches do fairly well against. So you can just keep building those Roaches and keep putting pressure on. So I said so a lot that I'm gonna stop doing that, but yeah, Roach pressure is the way to beat a fast expand, in my opinion, on Xel'Naga Caverns. Snute right now just going to be droning up. He is getting his speed and stopped getting gas right after that speed. And now going to be transferring drones. The worker count is 26 drones to 26 probes. Completely even right now. And that warp gate research has begun researching. Is WhiteRa going to be chrono boosting probes or not? He's not chrono boosting anything right now. Stalker is coming out. This one zealot, and the Stalker is going to reign supreme for another about a minute. So we'll see if that Stalker can do any damage. The Zealot will beat a Queen 1-on-1, but there are 2 Queens there, so Snute not going to be falling for that. Additionally, 2 lings do come out. The Zealot is going to be running back. He can easily take out 2 lings, but more lings are coming. Snute keeping this one injured ling way in the back. And the Zealot has to be careful. He's almost going to go down. He may actually fall. Takes out 1 ling, but he does go down. 1 ling for a Zealot is a very good trade, but that does allow WhiteRa to get his probe in here, get some more scouting information. You can see no guys on gas. He could even click on the gas and see, okay, you only have about 100 mines, so I know you took those guys off gas. You didn't take them off before I got in your base, which would be a pretty sneaky thing to do. If you see the probe getting in, just go, okay, quick, guys, get off of gas, and hopefully he doesn't click this to see how much gas is left. But, yeah, we have a creep tumor going out, and I think that's 3 queens out for Snute. Yes, Snute does have 3 queens. The one Stalker going to try to pick off this Overlord. It does get it. The Lings do have speed. The Stalker trying to get in a place where the Lings cannot surround. A little good of mess with the AI, but the Lings get a surround on the Stalker. The Stalker only takes out one Ling, and wow, Snute taking out a Zealot and Stalker for just 2 Lings, it looks like. During this lost tab, Overlord and 2 Lings have died. The Stalker, of course, did get that Overlord, which is pretty big. We have 4 more Warp Gates in the back. Oh my god, a lot of Warp Gates. WhiteRa with the 7 gate after this expand. This is going to be putting on a lot of pressure against Snute. We'll see if Snute can handle that. And additionally, he does have +1 with this, which will allow the Zealots to 2-shot Lings instead of 3-shotting them. If Snute wants to hold this, he will need a Roach one. I don't see him holding this with just pure Lings. He is going to be taking his 3rd base right now, and WhiteRa could be doing a lot of damage in the near future. He's whooping in a lot of sentries right now. He should come in and whoop in Zealots if he wants. He did get a probe to scout this and saw no Roach one just a few minutes ago, so we'll see if he decides to whoop in Zealots. And does this probe see that? No, it does not see this one hatch, but it most likely will very, very shortly. And looks like WhiteRa is just going to be taking out these rocks, getting some Zealots now. That +1 just now finishing. We have a Bailey's Nest completing for Snute. He is probably going to try to do some type of run-by with Banelings, catch WhiteRa off guard, but I don't see that happening. We do have plenty of sentries for WhiteRa, and there is a oh no, that's not just completing. That is just now being built. My bad. We have Ventral Sacks and Overlord speed. A few Lings going to get in this worker line and take out maybe 1 worker. He's killed 4 probes. I think he killed 2 scouting, so took out 1 or 2. And WhiteRa now going to be putting on the pressure. Keep in mind the Overlord speed is just now finishing. Ventral Sacks is very close. If he can get that done, I think he can easily hold this since Force Fields won't do anything to those Banelings and Overlords. And there's only 4 Stalkers out, so that's not going to be too much of a threat to those Overlords. Those Lings going to try to take out what they can. Go straight for the pylon, but just cannot. This hatch is going to be going down. WhiteRa morphs in more Stalkers, and this is what he needs. He can't defend Banelings, especially Baneling drops with just pure Zealots. And WhiteRa is going to have to do some great splitting of his units. Snute getting us around on these rocks, and of course these rocks too. Being very efficient with his Lings, almost optimal on both of those. Trying to take those out as fast as he possibly can. These 2 Stalkers going to come up, see these Lings, and start hitting them. That Ventral Sacks now is just complete. We have 8 Banelings morphing in, and we'll see if WhiteRa can get the splits he needs. He may be in trouble if Snute goes in to attack. WhiteRa force fields his units in, then goes in the Overlords and does the bomb. We'll see exactly what happens. But WhiteRa, he could be in trouble with this attack. Now the Lings are going to come in, try to get that surround. WhiteRa's going to be... Well, actually, the Bailey's not going in the Overlords. That is a huge misstep. And WhiteRa may be able to take this right here. The Lings are running back, and if those Banelings were in the Overlords, oh my god, would he have held that so easily. Little misstep from Snute right there. We do have the Lings taking out that 1 pylon. There goes the forward warpins for WhiteRa. A few spine close. They're taking this. WhiteRa has plenty of force fields. Now going to use some more of these Lings in the front. Have to go and attack something. Baneling's going in this Overlords now, and he will be unleashing on top of those sentries. Taking all the sentries out. The Stalker's taking huge damage right now. All the Zealots have been cleaned up, and WhiteRa has to retreat. There are plenty of Speedlings on the map to surround these Stalkers. A few Zealots being morphed in, and now Snute does have to pull back. He has 26 more Lings on the way, has +2 attack on the way as well. And is morphing in. More Banelings getting another Spine Coil. Keep in mind, this 3rd base has now just finished. WhiteRa going to be coming in. Again, the Banelings going to be dropping on top of everything, doing great damage to these Stalkers. And now Banelings just explode on the Zealots, clean those up as well. This food count now 70 to 70, still very, very even. And more Banelings in these Overlords going to keep on going. And we have 2 Zealots just chilling out right here. They would defend that pylon, then went down, unfortunately. And looks like those Overlords will be able to make it. He is going for that middle line. And WhiteRa going to be trying to break this Spine Coil with Lings. I don't think he can. Those Lings going to go straight for those Stalkers, as the Spine Coils will deal with the Zealots pretty well. And just getting more and more Lings. Keep in mind, these 2 Overlords are going. WhiteRa does see that with those 2 Zealots he had out earlier. Snute does defend that, and WhiteRa has to be panicking a little bit. Well, maybe not. It's 53 probes to 50 drones. That forward pylon is going down. We have the 2 Overlords with 6 Banelings on the way. Of course, WhiteRa does know about this. He has a Colossus on the way, which will be very nice. And now those banelings just going to be dropping on the Stalkers. They have a lot of Lings running into this middle line. Those probes are in grave danger. And a lot of them are injured, so those Lings can quickly pick them off. Oh my god, those Lings doing so much damage. A lot of Zealots have been morphed in. They will be able to clean up that, but more and more workers have died. Only 8, actually. Wow, only 8 workers. If one more baneling landed in, he would have taken out a lot more probes. And Snute with this just pure Ling baneling force with this +2 upgrades and, of course, the Overlord upgrades. Just doing so well. He has a macro hatch and his third base. He is going to be building drones again. Has a Spire on the way since he has kept the Stalker count very, very low. And he knows he's had an upgrade, so his Lings will be cost-effective against Stalkers. And, well, the only thing that will be good against this number of Lings is going to be a lot of Zealots. He can't rebuild the Sentry count without keeping the Colossus count high enough. So mutas are going to be what puts WhiteRa in grave danger right now. And that is a lot of banelings coming in for these Zealots. WhiteRa quickly trying to split up his units, run away from all these banelings. But the Lings may get us around. Those Zealots going to be falling. And look at those Zealots just crumble almost instantly. Snute even taking out that mortar with mainly just banelings, it seemed. And now the Stalkers are just microing back. Keep in mind, Snute can't go too far ahead in supply if he keeps sacrificing units. WhiteRa morphing in a lot of Zealots to take out this third base. But if Snute keeps sacrificing the army over and over again, he does have 1,500 gas saved up, so his muted tech switch is going to be devastating. And some micro going down for Snute to try to take out all these Zealots. One Zealot going in for the workers, and it looks like the Zealots will come to the Lings, but more Lings on the way. WhiteRa now has his Colossus coming in, and it looks like a lot of Overlords, but nothing in them that may be a bluff. And the Colossus with these Zealots are going to fend off those Lings. He has to get more banelings. Actually, no, he doesn't. He has 15 mutas on the way. As I did say, he was saving up a lot of gas. So these 15 mutas are easily going to clean this up, but the third base will be falling. And Snute just going to send in a lot of Lings over here. And, of course, the hatch does fall, but he has 15 mutas, now 18 mutas on the way. That would be more than enough to pick up this Colossus very, very quickly. We have Flying Carapace being upgraded, not Attack, Carapace. And a few Stalkers come in. Keep in mind, the Stalkers do have 1-1, while the mutas right now are 0-0. But that is a lot of mutas. That is 16 mutas to the 3 Stalkers, but we have more Stalkers, 4 Stalkers being morphed in. And that will be scaring these mutas back right now. Has 2 more Stalkers morphing in. And looks like we have banelings going in this middle line, getting a huge hit off. Now up to 19 probes killed. We still have even more Lings just chilling out right here. WhiteRa pulling off back a lot of forces. The worker count is 41 probes to 55 drones. Even though WhiteRa's taking out 2 hatches, he's only killed 4 drones in this. And there's banelings going back in for more, but there are 3 Colossus actually, and the banelings decide that's not a good day to morph and do back off. WhiteRa does have a good Colossus count, but he needs something to deal with these mutas. He only has 13 Stalkers, and they do not have Blink to my knowledge, and WhiteRa's main has just been mined out. But Snute is also on danger of mining out his bases, so someone has to get their third base up. Snute going to be trying to take this up yet again. This one pylon going to be taken out. Snute doing a very nice job at not forgetting about those pylons that do morph in. And WhiteRa is playing a very defensive game right now, keeping everything in this middle line. More banelings being morphed, going straight for that, but this Colossus will be able to take them out so quickly. 2 more pylons being morphed, try to block the banelings from going in behind this middle line, forcing them to go this way, where this Colossus can just beam them down. And that is a lot of mutas, and the Stalkers kind of just sitting in between. Banelings get taken out instantly. And the Stalkers are here so they can try to protect this area and the Colossus. And once they have Blink, they would be very mobile and be able to protect both areas of the base. But these mutas were a little bit more aggressive. I think you could be doing a lot more damage, maybe picking off this gas, forcing the Stalkers to come back, and then moving over and picking off some of this stuff. Maybe the Twilight Council to stop the Blink research. Snute just being very passive with his muta count. And he's got 21 mutas, and there's only 19 Stalkers, so his mutas aren't in like terrible danger if he flies anywhere. But WhiteRa does have a observer on that, so he does know where those mutas are. And the Stalker's now at 1-1 still. Doesn't have any more upgrades. Snute going to be at 2-2 very shortly on his ground. And WhiteRa deciding he wants to take the goal base. Snute is taking the base over in the 5 o'clock position. We have some Ling run-bys. Actually not run-by, drops coming in. But there weren't many probes left there. Now the Ling's going to be attacking the Stalkers. Stalkers have to target the mutas while the Colossus take down the Lings. There are no sentries there for Gunny and Shield. And it looks like those mutas may be able to pick off all of these Stalkers. It's going to be close. No, the Stalkers do have the numbers now. And the mutas look like they have not targeted the Colossus at all. The Stalkers do blink back, force the mutas back out. 10 more mutas on the way. He has at 7 mutas. He's going to be at 17 very shortly. But WhiteRa is getting a decent Stalker count up. The Worker count now is 23 killed, which leaves WhiteRa at 42. And again, his natural very low, about, I'd say, 900 left. Snute is going to sacrifice this base, but keep in mind he has the third base way over here. And now he's going in for a huge counterattack as all WhiteRa's forces are over at this third base, and WhiteRa's going to be in a lot of trouble right now. He's got to pull back everything, which allows the drone transfer to go down and him start mining from this third base. The Ling's just going to come in, try to pick off these cannons as fast as they can. And WhiteRa is coming back. Snute may want to leave. He has picked off that Cybernetic Core, so there are no more Stalkers. And that is going to be very bad for WhiteRa. He is just going to be picking off this work account. He does have to worry about WhiteRa getting a good exchange and having a large enough force to just go and kill Snute. And 7 workers are left. He has killed so many. But going to this army tab, you can see WhiteRa actually only has 4 more supply than Snute. So Snute's in a very good position right now. And uh-oh, this Colossus going to be picked off. The Stalker's not near. 1 Colossus goes down, maybe 2. And yes, 2 Colossus go down. Those Stalker's going to be picking off those mutas. But killing 3 Colossus, now those mutas have done their job. Snute can just build Lings. And since he has the upgrade advantage, he will be trading favorably against this army. And of course, WhiteRa only can build Zealots at this point, so his Lings will kill the Stalkers, and then his mutas will have free reign of everything. The drones have been pulled to try to defend this. Will this be enough? This is what I was talking about. He has to be careful about WhiteRa being able just to go kill him. And it looks like WhiteRa is doing a lot of damage right now. A lot of Lings are being produced. And WhiteRa, even though that food count was near even, he just comes out ahead because his army is cost effective. Those mutas not the best at that. And those Stalkers do blink up this high ground. They have the numbers where they can take out the mutas, and this hatch is going to be going down, but Snute is expanding at this base yet again. And WhiteRa can't really reinforce. He has to do damage. Just leaves 1 Zealot there. Going to be picking off some creep tumors. And, I mean, he's down to almost nothing. 7 probes still. And is he pulling back? He can't pull back right now. 32 workers to 7 probes. Snute is going to be able to macro up like a beast. Maybe he's thinking that Snute is mined out. The Observer hasn't seen this third base go back up, and that's a lot of spine callers being moved over the third base. I don't think WhiteRa is going to be able to take that out and deal with the mutas. This is most likely going to be GG right here. It's almost checkmate, I think. The Observer does see all the spine callers going to protect this one base. The muta's going to be coming in, picking off the pylons. He doesn't have a huge muta count, but I mean, he's just got to keep WhiteRa back in his base, and he'll macro up and just win. WhiteRa only has 500 minerals left, so that can only build 5 more Stalkers at that one base. He has 400 banked up, so 9 Stalkers he can build, and then he's out of it. And this muta's getting caught a little bit out of position, but a lot of Lings are coming in. Oh my god, that's a lot of Lings! And now the Zealots are coming. The Stalkers have to blink back. The Zealots have to form a wall. It's very crucial these Stalkers stay alive to deal with the mutas, but again, the spine crawlers. But WhiteRa can just stay on this high ground and deny mining. And that's exactly what he's going to be doing. The 8 Infestors on the way. Those units can come in, Fung Girth, go back, go in, Fung Girth, go back. They just reproduce. Additionally, can use Infested Terrans, and they're very, very cost efficient. And does he have Burr? WhiteRa is getting a Dark Shine. And maybe I was wrong to call GG WhiteRa. Maybe have an ace up his sleeve. It's 47 supply, 286. There's this one Overseer. But if he can snipe it, Snute doesn't have enough minerals to morph another Overseer. So if he can manage to snipe that Overseer, WhiteRa may be able to win the game. It's all going to come down to that. But there are more drones going back to this. WhiteRa's going to say, no, 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 no. Has an Observer right here. He wants to bait that Overseer out. If he can pick that off, WhiteRa does have a chance. And now this Mirror's going to go in, try to take out those Zealots. The Phone Girth does go down. Bailey's coming in. Gonna clean up those Zealots, and yeah, that's not gonna be good. The Stalkers do get surrounded, and the Dark Shine is not completed yet. There goes the GG, and oh my god, if the Infestor Switch didn't come, WhiteRa was enough to hold that, snipe this one Overseer, that would have been a completely different game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and well, take care, and I will see you next time.